All right. So today we are going to see how we can handle the FASTA file format. So in the last class, I told you about the FASTA file format, how it looks like, and today we are going to write some code based on that FASTA file format, and then we will see how we can handle the CSV file format, that is comma separated value file format. Okay, mostly these two types of file we will handle in future also. Now think about, we have already seen that there are different commands for reading a file. Suppose read, this command will read n bytes from the file, and if we are not using this parameter that has been passed within this parenthesis, so it will read the whole file. But you should remember that that is not a good idea to use the read command, because it will take all the materials at once. So it needs, if the file size is large, say for example 100 GB or so, so if you don't have that much of memory to handle, your computer memory is not enough to handle that much file, that much heavy file, so the program may crash. So better option is to use the other options like read line or read lines, or using the for loops. Okay, so that you can, so that the program can read one line at a time. That is the best practice. Okay, now hope all of you have seen that how a FASTA file looks like. So this is a FASTA file format, simple format, which starts with greater than symbol. Then the name of the sequence, okay, and some description also. All these are in a single line, which starts with greater than symbol. And after that line, there are multiple lines which actually contains the sequence of that particular protein or particular DNA. Now here it is a protein sequence. As you can see that these are the all single letter code for amino acids. And another interesting thing is that sometimes you will not find in FASTA format that all the lines are, all the amino acids are placed as a single line. Okay, because if the protein is long enough, suppose 1000 amino acids long or so 1000 amino acid long sequence cannot be presented in a single line, and that's why it is chopped from the middle. Sometimes 60 amino acids or 80 amino acid sequences are taken at a stretch, and that's why you will see that multiple lines are there in a single FASTA file for the single protein. Okay, and here I took human insulin, which has two lines of amino acid sequences, but basically this is one single protein sequence. Okay, so when you are going to write some code, you should understand this basic thing, so that you can join these two lines first, and then you should go for further analysis for from that sequence. Okay, now we can do this thing in very different modes. If for example I told you that if I am running this code from running this input file from any other directory, so I need to place the full path here after the open command, right? And I have also passed the R mode. That means this file will read only. It cannot, nothing will be written on that particular insulin.txt file. Now, if you look how this insulin file is arranged, so basically this is the file. Okay, it is a normal text file, and these 3 lines will be there. Okay, and I kept it in my desktop. Now if I open this, so f is, I have already told you what is f. Can anyone tell me what is f here? The special term used for this kind of variable. Anyone?
Sir, file name.
Not file name,
Sir, file.
not file.
Sir, first of file.
Not FASTA file. So that FASTA file is this one, insulin.txt. Okay. Now we are opening this file in read mode, and that file, the content of the file are taken in this variable, and this variable is, I told you that this is known as file handle. Okay, file handler. And next time onwards, we are going to use this file handler every time, not the file name or any other variable name. Okay, whatever we are writing here as the file handler name, we can give this name as per our choice. So we can write fh, or we can write file pointer. Okay, we can write file handle, anything we can write. Okay, so for short purpose, I have just written if, and obviously whatever command we are going to use next, we will use this file handle name. Okay, so next line I have written f dot read. So if I run it, you can see that it is showing all the materials, whatever there in the file, as it is. You can see that. So it is taking this \n also, because there is a new line, so it is taking \n also. Okay, and it's like it's reading a file just like a total string. So that's why you can see that one quote is here and another quote is here at the end position. So that means all the materials it taken as a string. Okay, it is not a good idea. However, now if we are interested to split the name of this protein, that means the description part of this protein and the protein sequence itself. Okay, so then what we can do? So follow these few lines, basically 2-3 lines of code. The first line, we have opened this using another file handle name. Don't be confused that f and fh are same. So in the next code, we are using fh as file handler name. Now, what we have done, we read this file, and that stored in this variable my file. Okay, that means if we print my file, so the same thing you will observe that it will print this as a whole. Okay, so first job is we need to split this first \n, that means up to this one, right? If we can do that, so we can take out the name portion, the description portion, right? So that's why what we are doing, we are using my file, this variable name, dot split \n. So you know how to use this thing. And after that, we are taking the index position. That is, if it splits at \n, so the first entity will have the index 0. So that's why we are taking 0. And in the second argument, we are passing that from where to where I am interested to print. That means when we will run that, it will be more clear that if we are interested only to the description part, that means without this greater than symbol. Okay, greater than symbol is for a format, but it is not the description part, right? So that's why we are using 1 colon all the materials. So it will omit the 0th position of this first element. So now if I run this, I am running this thing, and then I will run the next thing. So it is stored in name, and we are printing this. Okay. Now you can see that the name is actually this is from here, and then the name is printed. Okay. So you can see that no greater than symbol is printed. This much is clear what we are doing here. So first we are taking up to \n, then the first entity, that is 0, we are taking. Now when you are practicing with this kind of code, so you can play with this values. If you are in a confused state, so you can change these things and you can change the output, so it will be more clear what is going on. Suppose you are using 0, okay, or you don't use anything, only colon. So what will happen? Now you can see that everything is printed. Even if you are using 0, then also you will see the same result, because it is taking the 0th element also, that is greater than symbol. And if you use 1, so then only that is omitted. And if you are trying to extract without this tr portion, so you use 2. Okay, and you can see that accordingly these things are removing. You are fixing the position from where you are trying to extract the name. Okay, that's all. And now if you are using this, if you are changing this, so what will happen? Now you can understand this logic and you can answer that thing. I think you can do that. What will happen?
Sir, M will not be printed.
Right.
After that /n, the next M.
Right. So it is printed this thing because there is a \n, and that's why it is showing the MAL up to D. Okay. Actually, it is removing the \n. So that's why you can see this. Oh, sorry. It is not removing, that is already splitted. So it is taking this, and as we are mentioning 0, so from first element to the last element, all the things are printed. If you are using the same code from the earlier one, so then you will see that M is not there. Okay, for the next element. All right. So I'm going back again to the previous one. Yes, now it is. Okay, so this is the way how we can extract the name. Now next, our aim is to join these 2 lines. That means the exact sequence line. So how we can do that? So we are using join operation. So it will join without anything. So that's why we are using only single quote. We have not placed any space or any other character. Using this, we are joining. What we are going to join? My file dot split \n, and from the one element. That means we are not joining the first element, we are joining from the second element. So second and third will be glued together. Okay. So if we print this sequence, you will get the whole sequence is printed without \n and without this header line. Okay. Is it clear how we can extract the name and sequence from one simple FASTA file? Okay. So any question, any query?
Sir, why you need to use the slash every time?
Which slash?
It's a slash in, just like to
Okay.
join.
Okay. Because see, \n is already there. Okay. So here is a \n, here is a \n, here is a \n. That means it is used to create a new line in the file itself. So when you open the file in text mode, you cannot see the \n. That is a hidden character. Okay. But when you are reading this full file, so this \n is shown, and now you need to split at that \n position. So that's why you are mentioning that wherever you will find \n, then only you split. Okay. So then what it will do? It will go up to this and then it will split. Again, it will read up to this \n and then it will split. And at the last, it will be again splitted. Okay. And by this way, it will separate the elements. So actually, how many elements you will get? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And during the joining, you are instructing that you join from one element to the last element. So whatever elements are there, if you have thousands of lines, so it will add that thousands of lines using this command. Okay, we are joining those lines starting from the one element, one position. That means you are not including this first splitted part. So if you use 0, so you can see that again you are getting the full sequence with the header line also. Is it clear now?
Sir, how can you count the element 1, 2, and 3? Sir, which one?
No, it is the index position. It is the index position. Suppose you are getting that as a list, and this 0th element is the first element, and the one element is the next one. Okay, and your aim is to find out without the header name. So that's why we are using from one position to all. Got it? Suppose you know that in your file there are 2 header lines. Okay, there are 2 header lines. So then you can use, instead of 1, you can use 2. So it will start from the third line. Got it? How will you know that from where you need to start? So you need to know the file format very well. As I know that first line is a header line, so I am just omitting that first line, and I am starting from the second line. That means the position, index position of that second line is 1. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Now, instead of that, we can use read line, and the code is like written in this fashion that that is the same thing. We have earlier we used a read command and we stored that thing in my file. Now we are reading with read line option, read line method, and that is stored in first line. Okay, it will read line by line. Now you can see if we are reading line by line, so this syntax actually taking the first line. Okay, and that is actually the name part, isn't it? Because it will open the file and it will read the first line. So it is the header line, and you are extracting the description part using this command 1:-1. So I told you how you can use this colon operator to extract some portions from a long string. Suppose that is a string and you want to omit the 0th element. So we are not including that as a start position. We are using one position. So it will start from T here, and it will go up to -1. So that is, -1 will be which position? You know that string, if you know very well, last element of the string, -1. So the name will be printed. Okay, name will be taken.
Sir, what is the FH here?
Okay,
FH.
so I have already discussed this thing. FH is file handler. Okay, so this A for FH, whatever you can write. After opening this thing, you are storing that content in a file handler, and next time onwards we are going to use that file handler in the code. Okay, so you can see that file handler, using this file handler we are reading the lines, and we have seen how we can extract this name part using this method. Now next thing is,
Sir, we are using read only mode every time, but what if we use if we don't use the read only mode? I mean, in write mode also we can, in X mode also we can do this. Means what will be the problem?
yeah, X mode is for checking that whether that file is there, otherwise it will be created. Okay, otherwise it will be created. But here I have already kept a file named as insulin.txt, and I am just reading that thing. I am not creating any new file. I don't want to create any new file with X mode. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now the next job is to print or take the sequence from the whole protein sequence. So for that we can use while loop, because we are reading in single line. Okay. So for that we are using while true colon line equals to fh dot read line. So that means this fh dot read line, it will take the line, and if line equals nothing, that means the end, so it will break. Otherwise the sequence will be added with a replace command, that is \n with nothing. So look carefully, actually we are trying to merge the next two lines. So that's why we are using this algorithm, that whenever it is at the end, so then it will break, otherwise the sequence will be glued together. So that means we are replacing the \n at the end with nothing. Okay, so this is a command, and this sequence obviously you are taking another variable to hold this thing, so you need to specify that beforehand, otherwise you will get an error that it is not defined. So that's why you are taking this blank variable so that the line can be stored in that variable in future. Now if you print this, you will get the name as well as the sequence exactly similar to the first one. You can see that it is done. But these lines are you need to understand the logic to write this kind of code. And so another option is there. So you can use for loop. Okay, instead of for loop, instead of while loop, you can use right loop. Instead of while loop, you can use for loop, and that is more easy to write. Suppose compare this to 12 line of code there, it is only 8 line, so 4 line less, and code is almost similar. First few lines are same, this line, and this line, only we have merged these 2 line here, because basically we are reading this line and from that we are taking this much of sequence part, that means without the greater than symbol, and that is stored in name. So no problem with that, we can print this name here, so we will get the first line, so no problem with that. Now for the next part, that is for the sequence part, we are reading from the file handler each line, and we are replacing the \n with nothing, a similar fashion, okay, for each line. So now what you are getting, see the same thing, the name which is coming from this position, oh, that is here, and for this 2 line, from these 2 lines you are getting this sequence. What is the logic? Logic is you are joining the next lines and replacing the \n with nothing, okay. Is it clear? Any doubt here? Because see here, if you see this line, so here after this \n, there is another \n. See here. So our job is to replace this \n with nothing. So then only it will be joining. Okay, and that's why we are replacing this \n with nothing, and that's why these 2 lines are joined. Okay. Now, any doubt from here? Okay. You can do it in many other way also. No problem with that. This is only one single method. Now, if you are using, it is not the case that one FASTA file will have only one sequence. Most of the time, you will see that one FASTA file which has multiple sequences. So I have created one such file that is multiple insulin. I have just copied and pasted the insulin sequence there, and I am opening that thing. Yeah, so here it is. You can see that. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
there
sir.
are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 insulin sequences are there. Okay. Now my job is to extract the identifier name. Okay, how we can do that? So for that, we are opening the same file, so we can do it by this way also, no problem with that, with option. And then we are running for loop. So for line in fh, so this fh is file handler again, we are using this file as fh. So for line in fh, if line dot starts with greater than symbol, so we are instructing that if the code finds greater than symbol at the beginning, so then it will append that line in a list. The list is identifier. We have already specified the blank list in this way, that identifiers. Okay, so if you do that, what will happen? And we are printing this identifier names then from the list, and easiest way to print the list using star, the list name, list variable name. If you do that, you will find that 5 times it is printed. Okay, so
Sir, what if we directly split it with greater than sign? I mean, what will be the difference?
what do you want? You
So
are
I
trying
want
to
that get the
split this.
sequences. Yes, with greater than sign.
Yes, you can split that, but after that you need to take that sequence and you need to push that into a file, into a list. Otherwise, where it will be stored? Because earlier one sequence we are dealing in this example, and we are showing that we are printing that element as it is. But now the situation is different. Now there are multiple things, so you need to keep that multiple things in a list. Otherwise, where you will store that thing, right? So whatever method you are using, you need to store that thing in another list, and then you can print that thing. Then you can show that element's name from the list itself. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So okay. So I don't know whether you can remember that we have used one such problem, that if some charge amino acids are present in the protein, and if you know the charge of that particular amino acids, like C with this value, D with this value negative charge, E with this value, and H with this positive value, K with this positive value. So if you know that amino acid charge and the initial charge is also given, so if you are trying to find out the total charge of a protein, this insulin protein, how you can solve this problem? Okay, so for that you can apply this kind of approach. So you see, the insulin.txt we have opened, then we have read the line one by one, and for line in fh we are getting the sequence first using this method again. So there are multiple options how you can get the full sequence. So there is another option is taken, and all the sequences have been converted to uppercase, because in next dictionary we have used these characters in uppercase. So in FASTA format, if that any letter is in small case, so it will be converted to uppercase. So that's why we have used upper here. And then this is also given, and amino acid charge are also given in a dictionary format. So you hope you know how we can describe a dictionary, how we can write a dictionary. So this is the method. Okay. And then we are getting the amino acid charge and then we are adding this charge sequentially. So we are checking the amino acids from the sequence itself. So the sequence, which sequence we are talking about? We are talking about this sequence. Okay, this sequence. And we are searching the amino acids from the sequence, and then we are getting the amino acids and checking that whether it is in the dictionary or not using this get method. Okay, so you can go back and you can check. We have already explained this get method earlier. So using this method, we are taking out this C, D, E, H, K, R, Y from that total protein, and then we are calculating. We are summing up the charge of this charge element. All right, and at last we are printing this charge. If you run this, you will get that charge here. This is the total charge of the protein. Now, the next question is how we can store this value into another file. Okay. So up to this, we have seen that how we can read the file and how we can calculate something and how we can show that on the terminal itself using print command. Now we need to convert it to if out file format. Okay, so that out file will contain the results. We can open that file in future and we can see the results there. Okay, so for that purpose, we are writing the same code up to this. Okay, we can close this file.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, in this particular sequence, I mean this particular program, will /n be also converted to uppercase?
/n means which /n you are talking about?
Sir, the one that is separating the lines, the sequence plus because we are not replacing or doing something with that /n. So will /n will also convert it to uppercase, the one that separates the two lines.
Yes, but here we are doing this line by line. We are not considering the /n. Okay.
Okay, sir.
/n is not there. It will take up to -1 position. That means the end of that string, not included the /n. All right.
Sir, sorry, did not understood this one.
What I am doing here, that line will be taking up to the last element of that particular line. It will not include the /n. So it is not the question that whether the /n will be converted to uppercase or not, because /n is not present actually in the sequence line. Okay, it is the new line only, and earlier case we have joined these two lines, but here without the /n we are gluing these two lines. This is separate method. Okay.
Okay, sir, got it.
This is separate method, not that one. Okay, and if you by mistake change this thing /n to uppercase /n, so it will not work. Basically, /n in small case only means the new line, not the capital N. Okay, so next one thing is that after you have completed this file handling thing, you can close this file handle there also. Okay, say for example, the same code I have written again, and I have closed this file handler here after completing this for loop, because then we have already got the sequence and already know this dictionary, so we can close the previous file, no problem with that. You can close it here or you can close it here also, no problem. So I closed it here, and then after printing the charge, so you can omit this print here also because we don't want to show the result on the terminal. So I am closing this print statement. Now we are opening another file with W mode. Okay, that is the out file, out.txt with W mode. Now this file will open and you can write something in this out.txt file. So you can open it with X mode also. Okay, someone asked me that whether we can use X mode. So here you can use X mode, and if the out file is there already, so it will not be created. If it is not present, so it will be created. Suppose I am trying to use this X. So it is showing me that out.txt is already there because I have already created, I have already run this code and it is already there. So it is not possible to open this file in X mode here. So you can change it to W mode again. And the problem is every time you are using W mode, so previous results on that file will be erased. That you should keep in mind. Otherwise, you can use append mode. Now out.txt comma W, then you are writing this, you are printing. Earlier you print this using print command, now you are writing this using write command. So where it will write? It will write on the text file out.txt, and that is in if h.out, this file handler. So using this file handler, you are writing on that file. That means it is now acting as a pen. Okay, so you are using this pen and you are writing this on that particular file out.txt, and every time you need to change this charge value with string, and then it will write on that out.txt file, and then you should close that file handler fh dot. Now if you run this, what will happen? You can see that some junk values are printed. This is not the answer because we have not printed anything, right? We have not printed anything to show in the terminal, but Jupyter Notebook is taking something and it is showing this thing. No problem with that. You go back and you check that where is that out.txt, this one. So if you open the exactly same results, you can see here in the out.txt file. So it is written on that particular text file. Okay.
Sir, I can
Yes, sir.
understand the charge value. Sir, can you please repeat this?
Which one?
Charge, sir.
Charge
I
means?
can understand.
Can you specify which charge value? This one?
Sir, yes, sir.
So this is the basic charge of that particular protein. This value is already given to you. So whenever you are trying to add something with the previous value, so if something is not there, so you need to use something, some value, some variable with 0, that is the counter. So it is like a counter. Okay, that is the initial value, initial charge value already given, and with that other amino acid charge will be added up. That's all. If the charge is 0 given, so you just use 0 value, 0, and with that 0 value that will be added. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. So this much.
Sir, what happened if I do not close any file handler?
Yeah. So I showed these things earlier also. Suppose you forgot to close this file handle. Okay. Now if you go back, if you run this, and if you go back to the file out.txt, open this, and you can see the result. Can you see the difference? Because you forgot to close this file. So that's why it is written on that file, but you cannot see the output. That will be the problem. So it is better practice. You close this file, then run again and go back and open this file again. You will see the result. Okay. Is
Okay,
it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, oh, only 5 minutes left. So how can I start with CSV file format? Okay, so I'll take another class on Saturday. So before that, I can show you how a CSV file looks like. Okay, comma separated value file. Suppose so, this is a sample file. Okay, you can see that emp.csv. So this is the file extension, that is .csv, nothing else. And now all the materials, all the elements are separated by comma here, not space, not tab. Okay, every time. So that is the simple format of CSV file. Now, if you go back here, so how can you print the lines of this CSV file? So for that, you can use CSV module. There is a module, particular module used to read such files. So every time you need to import CSV, this is a module name CSV, and open you can use with open option, or you can use simple f equal to open the file name and read mode. You can use that way also, no problem with that. So if you are using with command, after that you should use another command, that is csv dot reader, and within parentheses the file handler name. Okay, so you are trying to read the CSV file using dot reader command, and all these materials are stored in CSV reader variable. Okay, now if you can do this much, and then the next is easy. You just print the CSV reader variable, and using for loop, each time the for loop will go on and one by one line will be printed. Say for example, if I run this, you can see that all these lines have been printed. Now CSV reader, if we are typing print type of CSV reader, so you can see that CSV reader is a class which has the name csv.reader, csv dot reader. So from that, it is printing this line, each line from this CSV reader. Now you can change these things. You can collect this information individually. Say for example, you can extract the column name, column wise, the first column or second column or third column, or you can interchange these columns, or you can adapt the values along the rows, or you can adapt the values across the columns. So these things are possible if you can read the CSV file. It is just like Excel. Okay, whatever options, whatever calculation you can perform on Excel, so similarly using this CSV reader, CSV module, you can do such calculations. All right, so there are different examples given here. Here what we are taking, only the first column and the third column we are taking. So how we can do that? So we are just printing the line 0, 0th entities, and line 2, that means 0, 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2. So first column and the third column is printing. Okay. So we can change the position similarly. So 0, then 1, and then 2. So we are changing this thing. 1, then this and this. Okay. So this is the same thing, 0, 1, 2. We can change this 2 and 1. It will be changed. Okay. So this is for omitting, skipping the line. This next. So that's why sometimes we don't want to use the header line for calculation part. So that's why we can omit that line first, and then we can take the other values in another list or any other variable. Anyway, so today's time is over. We will meet.
So
in the
if
next
we
class.
give the second index, we will be able to extract one particular value of the matrix.
What is your question? I couldn't understand.
So if we give the second index in, I mean,
Second
after
index?
line 0, I mean line there is 0. After that we give in third bracket 1. So will we get
Yes.
333 in this case?
Yes, you are trying to use this, but there will be a problem. You are trying to getting not here. You are trying to use which one?
So
This
anyone,
one.
I mean, yes,
This
sir.
one. So you are trying to this, but there will be a problem. What problem you will face? See, only the first elements you are getting from the second one. Means from this 3, 4, 5, 6. Not the
Oh.
whole. Not the whole.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
How will okay, we'll see it next day.
Yes.
How will get the I mean, suppose I need the 555 value, so we will create a
Yes. So
create a
only
class
this,
and
only this value you are trying to extract. For
yes,
that,
sir.
you need to extract that particular. You need to use some two for loop. Okay, nested for loop, and then you can extract this what 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2 position. Okay, so then you can extract this thing.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
This is exactly the matrix. Yes. Okay, so bye now. We'll meet in the next class again.